You know what I realized? You know, there's like a 2-day window where a banana is like perfect or not. No, I really. Like, if we could solve that, there's nothing that brings America back together again than just having a banana. Yeah, you have 2 days, because otherwise I would eat more banana. You have no good banana, or you have too ripe of a. It's like just 2 days. Why can't we put a man on the moon? I can't have a fresh banana. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, we're here. We're doing our thing, and I appreciate you joining us here. This is a stock market update show where we genuinely talk about the stock market and generally talk about the stock market. And I got some good stuff for you here today, so we're going to dive into it. It won't be taking up too much of your time. And I'll wish you a belated happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully you remembered Valentine's Day for those of you that needed to participate there. And extra day off there. Hope you enjoyed that. Hey, Friday is the anniversary of the top before the market fell last year because of the darn virus. So, ooh, spooky, right? Something going to happen? We'll see what happens there. Hey, we're not doing shows on Fridays for a little bit here because we're all teaming up to do tile at the house that we're fixing. You've probably seen the videos on that, or hopefully you have. But we got some great FinTips videos coming out. Wednesday, we're going to do a sneaky trick to avoid taxes in your IRA. Super important that you want to do that there. And I'll give you a little trick to do that if that's something you're trying to do, which you should. And then Friday, we're going to talk about FIFO versus LIFO. When do you choose one or the other? You know, in your brokerage accounts, you can actually choose whether you want to have the positions calculated using FIFO or LIFO. And why? What's the difference there? Where's the optimum way to do things? So we'll cover that. Hey, in our research site, if you're not a member, you can join us there, jazzwealth.com/research. It's $13 a month if you want to join. We actually did a kind of a study based on a customer. Customer actually sent an email saying, hey, I noticed that people are searching market bubble a lot. Can you look back? Let's see. Has that ever caused the stock market to pull back? So we did a study on that. Hopefully you'll check that out. And in our notes from Jazz over the weekend, which goes to you if you're a research member as well as customers, we talked about the President's Day week performance, showed the stats on that. And wouldn't you know it, we pinged it almost perfectly today. We were within just a few hundredths of a percentage point from actually trading exactly the way the Tuesday after President's Day trades on average. It was just incredible. And what I found incredible about this, in fact, is the stock market, if you were watching the futures market Sunday night, Monday, throughout the day while the stock market was closed, we were up, man. It was like 0.7% higher. It was like 28 points in the S&P. I mean, up here. And then throughout, the day before or going into today, we gave back all of it. We traded all the way back to flat, then just a touch lower on the day to finish at down 0.06%, which is almost perfect to how the Tuesday after President's Day trades in the S&P. Fascinating to me when you can see ahead of time how the market normally trades. Then it actually does what it normally does. Just fascinating that that's the case there. But today, otherwise, whole lot of nothing out there if you're looking at the stock markets in general. Now, global markets, over the weekend there, because the market was closed here yesterday, but the global markets were open, and we had just incredible rallies all across the world there. I'll just take you on a brief tour of the world here, as if we're at Epcot. You got Australia. The EWA is an ETF that you can use to look at Australia. Broke out to new highs. They participated in the rally. Let's go IEV. That's going to be Europe. Also a breakout to new highs there as well. EWD, a rare one. We don't often look at Sweden, but they broke to new highs. All around the world, you had this going on. You want to go to China A shares, a little extended in the short term, but they were higher there. We'll go a little bit further here if you care. You can just look all around the whole market there. Big gaps up, big moves higher. You can use the BlackRock iShares to look at pretty much any country you want to there. Really, really impressive, I thought. So you figure the U.S. markets would continue. Oh, no. They wanted to be just average there. You look at Bitcoin, that briefly went over 50,000, so you got rallies going on there. Our futures markets were up higher, but we finished lower on the day by just a tiny little bit there. And I'll start with the Dow. About 3.5% gain here year to date. You got a slight gain going into the after hours. And let's take a look around the Dow. You got Salesforce continuing to move after breaking out of that downtrend there. You like to see that. Goldman Sachs moving to new highs with the financials. They broke out to new highs today. We can talk about that in our sector breakdown. But here's the financials also breaking to new highs. That last pullback proving to be buyable. Love to see that one. JP Morgan also moved up there, and a lot of them did as well. In the Dow, you have Apple not participating. What the heck's going on here, man? Apple and Amazon, you're starting to see a lot of these big tech leaders that were leaders last year and the year before, they're just not participating. It's kind of interesting. If you look over in the NASDAQ, nobody interested in the old FANG names today. Facebook did okay, about 1.25% on the day. But like I just mentioned, Apple not really doing anything. Look at Netflix, basically flat on the day. You got Amazon, slight down move there for Amazon. Nobody cares. They're all over chasing other stuff. What's the other stuff that they're chasing? Semiconductors. Texas Instruments up 0.5% on the day. Intel up on the day as well. Good mover there. We happen to own that one, so we're happy to see that one get back to work. NVIDIA, once again, for the second time in 4 days now, being the biggest contributor to the NASDAQ's gains in a day. You don't normally see that for NVIDIA, so kind of cool to see that. Microsoft, one of the weaker ones today. Nobody interested in Microsoft at highs there. Tesla, weaker as well. Slight pullback on Tesla, about $20 on the day. So all of those bigger headline type stocks, they just want nothing to do with it. If you look at the S&P 500, you're up about 5% year to date on on that one there. And it's pretty much the same story. I mean, I don't have to say this all over again. Great reversal from yesterday. That was impressive. You don't see that on the chart. See, for example, a lot of you look at the SPY or maybe Vanguard's S&P fund, but you don't see the fact that we were actually higher than what the chart is showing because it's not calculating the futures market from yesterday. So we actually had this interesting reversal, which I kind of found fancy there. And so that's one of the things I wanted to point out to start the day. I do want to point out real quick our new tool. Getting ready to launch it here for customers. We did a class last week, our Wine and Wealth class, to go over it. Adding a few updates, making it a little bit faster and changing some of the things in there to make it a little more intuitive there. If you're taking a look, what this tool does is it breaks the S&P into industries and then gives you a mound of data for the different areas that you can look. So for example, we're just kind of looking here. We're looking over the last 5 days, the colored area is the range. So what I thought today was I want to see stocks that are trading at the lower end of their range. I want to find the weak stuff. Where's the weak stuff at? So we can see the open here in 5 days. Within 5 days, we've got this industry trading at the lower end of its range. That's going to be names like Verizon and AT&T. Well, if we happen to go look at those stocks, they're very clearly weaker than the market. So just like that, I'm able to find these stocks and see things that you either want to participate in the weakness or maybe you want to bet on some of the downside coming to an end here. AT&T actually had a good day today, so I'm not ragging on that one at all. But things to point out there. I just thought that was really interesting as we dig through it. So I started going through some of the other areas just to see. You got your distributors, Pool Corp looking kind of weak there. That's got not horribly weak, but a decent pullback inside of a recent uptrend. So that one trading at the lower end of its range. If you were looking for things like that, it's a fast way to go take a look. You can also sort by their bullish or bearish rating. So if you want to go look inside of that, this is the number of patterns that are bullish that are currently triggering versus those that are negative. So are they adding up to more bullish or not? Just to give you kind of an overview on that one. And just looking through it, I found just all kinds of cool things in here. I was looking at the distributors down here. I like the weaker stuff. I like the automobiles pulling back. That was like Tesla we just mentioned a minute ago, largely because these are stronger areas, right? So we can even just go like this. Let's go for the year so far. So if I pick quarter to date, that's the same as year to date, right? Because it's the first quarter. So we look inside of here, you've got these otherwise stronger areas that are pulling back, right? So I like some of these in here. It gives you something to look for if you're looking to pick on pullbacks inside of strength. Now, if I go back And we go back up here, you're looking, we were talking about AT&T and Verizon. Well, that's not a stronger area. That's just in general been weak overall. When you're looking down through some of these, you may not want to pick on weakness that is already inside of weakness overall. So I just thought that was interesting, something that I wanted to point out. Let's go to our sector breakdown here. I will probably start using that tool a little bit more here so we can zoom in on some things. I've got a whole lot that I want to cover there. But if you look at the sectors overall, here's what you got. You got energy as your leader here today, and by far the leader for this year, up over 20%, hopefully starting to pull back, but today just wasn't the day for energy. If you go inside of it, every single stock today was positive. Some of these are stragglers from a merger that are yet to come out. But other than that, every single one higher on the day. ExxonMobil leading the way. Chevron, of course, leading in terms of contributions there. And ConocoPhillips just been a really good performer. If I look at the 6-month chart, that puts you at new highs for ConocoPhillips. So if you, oh, by the way, let's see, Occidental Petroleum, did it almost hit 27 today, I believe. The high of the day, 26.95, not quite there. So if you're one of our customers and have been for a little bit, you know that in your account there's this odd little position in there that has some numbers and then it says 27. You've actually been awarded warrants from Occidental Petroleum, which you could exercise at $27 or higher, but you were given them, I believe, at $4.19 per warrant. And so a pretty sizable profit on that one. That's actually valued. The warrants are currently valued at over $12 because essentially we're at the money, if you want to say it that way. And so very cool. Like to see that rally continue here for the energy sector as a whole. Do want to point out financials. I talked about those making new highs today. That pullback that we talked about, walk through every single day. They're talking about the pullback being viable. If we look at the returns today, they're going to be a little wonky because Charlie hasn't fixed it yet. The returns are showing as decimals and not percentages at the moment, but all the big names, even Wells Fargo, good old Wells Fargo got to participate today, which has been the laggard overall. And so it's nice to see that one start to rally. But the bigger banks today, Bank of America, Citigroup, U.S. Bank, and J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, I mentioned already, all looking really strong in there. So really nice to see that. Energy and financials, however, it's not going to move much of the market because you can now tell by looking at the tool. If we come over here, financials currently make up 10.55% of the S&P, and energy makes up 2.4%. So you got a whole 13% of the S&P being your leaders today. Everything else was kind of weak. What does that tell you? You're going to have kind of a flat to slightly down day. It helps that some of the bigger sectors also were not really lower on the day. Otherwise, it could have been a little bit worse. But that's really it. Let's go over to healthcare real quick. I just want to take a look. Inside of healthcare, it's kind of a flat day for healthcare, but you got a nice rally inside of an uptrend already. So looking inside of healthcare, you're going to find that it's a lot of these biotech names. So I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but if you like healthcare, that's somewhere you can look if that's something you want to play with. All right, let's go over to new highs and new lows for the day because, in fact, there were 76 new highs. Incredible, at least stocks that started at new highs. And by the way, there's a whole lot of stocks in the new highs list that are performing a little bit odd. Right? We'll cover that here in just a second. But let's go over to new highs and take a look. So first one. Corteva hitting new highs here. Nice little technical pattern breaking out over here, continuing in its most recent uptrend. I like that one. I like it kind of consistent, and also if you've been following them, I believe there's some group of activist investors doing something there, and that's leading to some of the rally that you see there. Mosaic also hitting new highs and kind of a fresh short-term breakout there, up 27% year to date. Right, so already off to the races, looking really strong. Another strong one here is Twitter. Boy, that's got to be just getting a little extended, isn't it? Twitter's up 52% in the last month. It's up 26% in 5 days. I'm just curious, is that odd, guys? Let's take a look here. So we're going to look and say any 5-day period is Twitter being up, I'll even say 25%, right? 25% in a 5-day window. How often does that happen? We don't need to go back 20 years, but we'll do it anyways. Let's see what Twitter's got going on here. Twitter has gained 25% over the span of 5 days Only 4 times, this one being one of them there. So here's all the different dates there. 31%, so wow, that's back towards the IPO days there. 27 and 26. In other words, it is rather rare for Twitter to gain as much as it has in 5 days like this. Just doesn't happen. In fact, if you look off to the right here, the average performance going forward is a slight loss, a pullback. Gee, that makes sense, right? Median performance minus 1.06, of course, and only positive 30% of the time. It's not a lot of data points, so what can you do there? It's an incredibly rare event, and that's really what I'm trying to highlight for you is Twitter is extended. If you're thinking you want to buy Twitter right now, you got to know you're doing something that's extremely odd. You're buying something that doesn't normally already do what it's already done. So you might want to think about that. Also, I would say if you own it and you're not taking some profits here, what's your deal? Right? What do you want the stock to do? It's already doing more than it normally does. So it's giving you every opportunity. All right, WMB was another one hitting new highs like this one in the space here. It's kind of an uptrending breakout. There's not really a name for it. I say it's an uptrending breakout because you do have a little consolidation, but it's at a slight it's kind of trending higher. Give it kind of more of a channel kind of a thing going on here. But nonetheless, hit new highs today. Volume wasn't great, so that makes me a little suspicious there. We'll move on to PNC, participating in the bank rally today, breaking a new highs, but in the biggest way, right? I just mentioned a minute ago, Goldman Sachs. All right, it's a good move. Cool. JP Morgan, okay, that's a good move. Bank of America, not bad. These are all nice, but these are all participating in the sector having a good day. When we go over to PNC, that's not just the sector having a good day. That stock didn't go up twice as much as every other stock because money was just in the financial sector today. A little more going on there. I didn't catch any news or anything on it, but you got to know that, like, if you're trying to find a stock that's somewhat more interesting than everything else, and everything else went up, what's going on there? Right? PNC, what are you guys doing there, right? Something to check out there for sure. Let's do the stocks in the news, and then I'll take your questions if I, in fact, can do that. I should be able to do that, no problem. So, stocks in the news, here we go. So you got Apple not participating today. Right? Not participating today. Maybe a little weakness there thanks to Facebook, which was also in the news today. They're going to be or are working on their own smartwatch. I don't know if I get it, but okay. So they're working on that. Apple takes a little bit of a hit on that news, so they're coming to compete. You got AutoZone. No, I'm sorry. I typed it wrong. It should be AstraZeneca. I put the wrong symbol in there. World Health Organization gets... gives them emergency approval to use 2 of their vaccines there as well. That's kind of, a lot of that's coming at you pretty quick there, so got to pay attention there. CVS, all right, CVS beats on earnings guidance, man. Not really a lot going on there. They partner with Walgreens to get some of the vaccines out. I think that's good, of course. Where were they like a couple months ago? But all of a sudden, they've decided to work together. Down 5% on the day. Huge volume there. You did not jump in the middle of something like that. Let it get beat down for a little bit. For some reason, people wanted to sell on that news. I didn't catch all of it, but that is not one where you say, hey, it's a discount, 5%. That's to give it a little break there. IMAX, yeah, they're still around. IMAX has its single best day ever over in China for the Chinese New Year holiday. They're all out there watching movies on the IMAX screens. Single best day ever. Stock gains 6.5%, which is not its single best day ever, but still nice to see that for them. Those are your theater plays. If you go over to something like AMC, it's up a little bit, right? Because same category, right? Something interesting to look at. What do we got on PayPal here? PayPal's, well, it's going to be worth more than its competitors there. So PayPal a little bit higher on the Bitcoin excitement. Technically, this makes it valued higher than MasterCard. Old PayPal there. You know, they're playing big in the Bitcoin space, and Bitcoin hovering right around 50,000. I thought that was kind of interesting there. And that's pretty much it. You know, stocks in the news. Hey, you do have a change here in the S&P 500. So you're going to have we already talked about this. This actually is happening now. It was delayed. Yeah, so just coming out now, MPS, and a lot of changes in the S&P 600 and S&P 400. So I'll do my thing, try to answer some of your questions. Dividends, by the way, in the oil space, you got Marathon Petroleum paying out 58 cents, Chevron paying out $1.29. Pretty cool. I love it. There you go. Who wants a Facebook watch? Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that one. I'm not really a watch guy, but it better be awesome. You know what I mean? They got some obviously stiff competition there, but yeah, I don't know. If you have a long-term investment bubble, you are praying. Yeah, if you have a long-term portfolio, you're praying for it to be a bubble and give you a big pullback. Yeah, I don't really like to have a big pullback. Obviously, that makes things a little harder. I would like to see a pullback, so I wouldn't be complaining there. No way. Let's do it, right? Everybody get on Reddit or do whatever you guys do. Pull the market back. Thoughts on UNH? I like the pullback here. A lot of your big insurers, I like the area. You got a lot of support in a lot of these names here. UNH just happening to be one of them as the largest position in the Dow at the moment, right at the 200-day moving average. I like it. I'm a pullback guy though, so that's my thing. Yep. Oh, you want to start a position? You want to play some golf, huh? Do a little golf. You got a little time. Here's Eli Lilly. Not Eli Lilly. I looked at this. Callaway. So this is the golf company. They own a whole lot of different golf products. So uptrend here, right? Not a normal pullback inside of an uptrend. Look back here. Callaway doesn't get volatile like this. Now, this is earnings related. It's caused a bit of a pullback there. They lost 33 cents apparently. But as it pulls back, you're in no hurry. You don't want to be the first to buy that. Look at how the weakness is continuing. The volume is staying higher. Hold off on this a little bit. Maybe you can get it closer to 26 or start averaging in around 26 if you want. Yeah. You started off, you like your semiconductors, Akamai. So you started off around $100. Yeah, it's been beaten. There's a great example, actually. So first day, remember we always talk about never buy on the first day, and it sounds like you didn't, so that's good. But the first day of a big move, right? Otherwise, we're moving higher, but it's a big move in the opposite direction. You don't want to be participating on the first day. Let it settle. I think anywhere in this area now, you're starting to work up the excitement to want to participate or average into it. So I wouldn't give up on it. It sounds like you got about $100 average cost there. Yeah, I wouldn't be too heartbroken just yet. Hang in there. Hang in there. A gal in Florida got an FBI visit today from the mask being crap. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah. We Floridians are pretty vocal. Yeah, right. 10% pullback, too much stimulus. Yeah, that's the problem. You want to pull back, but yet, potentially 4 weeks from now, there's more dough going into the economy, right? They're just going to give out more money. Agree or disagree, it's something that they're working on. So it's like, what are the chances we're going to get this pullback in this little range here? You just know that people are taking that money and going and, trading with it, investing with it and stuff. I know, right? It's crazy. You like the pullbacks? Yeah, Verizon, Merck. Actually, Merck pulled back a little bit more. I still like this range. Hasn't really moved out of the range, to be fair. There's between 75 and 74. I mean, it's not exciting there, but I'd keep the same comment. If this could just break that low right there and scare everybody for a day or two, what fun, I don't know. Teladoc. Haven't looked over there in a while. Yeah, maybe a little pullback. It's a good name. I don't have a problem with it. Pullbacks I would think would be buyable there, or people would be excited to buy that pullback. But, yeah. You're going to wear two. I've actually seen a lot of people wearing two masks. I was out and about today, actually. Went to a couple different stores, and they have the white one kind of bleeding through and then the cloth one. Yeah. That's interesting. It'd be hard to breathe, right? It's kind of a lot of mess. Yep. Thoughts on Solar Edge? Beat on earnings, overpriced, right? Still overpriced in here. It had a great run. You can see it. You feel it and see it becoming overpriced, right? Look, go back here. So look back through all of here. You got a steady, consistent uptrend. Then all of a sudden people go, I don't know if I want to pay that price. This seems a little bit high. Why hasn't the uptrend continued consistently and calmly and cleanly, right? No, people are saying, that's enough. I'll take profits. Wait, I want to buy it. Wait, I want to take my profits. That creates this almost frustrating kind of a topping pattern there. I think you hope it pulls back. What if you're long Verizon? If you're long Verizon now, I don't have a problem with it. If you just bought it somewhere in the last week or two, I like it, right? Verizon trades like this, right? You don't see Verizon just trend, and it's exciting. There's always a range for Verizon because what are they really going to do? They're not going to grow like substantially more than they already have. So there's always this overpriced, oversold, overpriced, oversold. And so you're just moving towards that oversold spot there. Meanwhile, collecting a little bit of dividend. Yeah. We got everybody started on the mask comment. That was a mistake. All right. Now, it's like razors. Maybe one razor does the trick. And then they came out with two razors and that's actually pretty smooth. 3 razors, 4, the Mach 5. Remember that? I mean, that was like a Super Bowl commercial. It was like, what? What are we going to, how many razors do we need? At some point, you're just pulling skin off, right? Yeah, unfortunately, interest rates rising. I think the Fed doesn't like not having control over that. So you would probably imagine a little bit of softening in the raising of rates there. In the short term, but yeah, new lows and aggressively new lows. Here's the, if you want to look at the 10-year, so here's a little break to lows today. If you're new, the price of bonds moving lower means interest rates are moving higher, or the rates for the particular bond are moving higher. Yeah. Like your dividends? I like it. You don't like your Verizon bill? Is it still called Metro? Are we Metro? Still Metro. I don't need anything fancy there for that. Oh, SNL. That's what I meant to say, not Super Bowl. The SNL razor thing. All right, now we know how old you are. I know, right? That's funny. You want to dump your AT&T stock? Why? What's the problem? Dead money? So this one's a bit. I mean, the same thing. You don't see AT&T just go gangbusters and have these great moves, but it's a dividend play. It's what we know it for. I wouldn't start a new position, but if you already own it, maybe you could use any move higher to start peeling out of your position. You're kind of in indecision land right now for that one. Yeah. All right. I got you guys all fired up talking masks and whatnot. I will wrap it up there. Wish you a good rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll do this all over again. And hey, hit the subscribe button. We're at 8,000, I think. Like we're gonna do it. As for after a while, you're like, I don't know, maybe we get there. We may get to 100,000 subscribers. You gotta have a party. Do you do something? I don't know. I have to think about that. Help us out.